Okay, so hello everyone. I thought I'll share with you my experience of doing the computer based exam for the MRCOG at the Pearson VUE Centre. As you all know, during the pandemic, the RCOG have moved from doing the exams in the college to an online computer based exam. So, the Pearson VUE Centre is where other exams are also held in the UK, like, for example, the driving theory exam. The staff there are very well trained and quite friendly and supportive towards any extra needs that you may have for the exam, but you do need to let them know of this beforehand. Also, everything on the exam day is very well organized. So, from arriving at the center to putting your personal belongings away, everything's got a system. So, you are told to arrive 30 minutes before the exam and at the centre. Once you present yourself at the centre, you have to show a photo ID, for which I took my passport. They then log you onto their system and get you connected to a computer where your things like your college, your name, and your college number appears. I don't think your college number appears on on the computer itself, but it's just your name, which you are told to check before you start the exam. You're then told to put your personal belongings away into a locker, where and you collect the key and keep that key safely with you into the examination centre, so where exactly you're sitting the exam on the computer. You're only allowed your the key for the locker and your ID, and you have to keep your photo ID on you at all times. In terms of carrying any water bottle with you, I wasn't allowed at my centre. And instead we had to leave it outside with the invigilators. And if you did require water during the exam, then you had to get the attention of the invigilators by raising your hand. A similar thing is what you would do if you needed a toilet break, but do bear in mind that the timer on the exam would continue and there's no way to stop it. Um, so you're escorted by the invigilators into the examination room. They show you exactly which computer to sit at. The computers are normally labelled by a numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. And you'd be informed that, oh, you need to go and sit on computer number 4, for example. And once you sat there, there's headphones available that you can put. You don't have to, but that kind of stops noise. Because do bear in mind that other candidates who sat in that same examination room may not have their exam as long as yours is, so they'll be in and out of the examination room. So I used it and I thought it was helpful. You're not allowed any pens or paper to be carried to carry into the examination room. What you are provided with is a laminated sheet where you can and a whiteboard pen that you could write on and work out if you work out anything if you need it to. Um, once you sit down and there are instructions on the screen, and there's a very short tutorial as to how to answer the questions, how to record your answer basically, and then once the tutorial's over, your examination starts. And as I said, when your examination starts, you've got this timer that's running on the top right hand of the screen. And but the software itself that is very user friendly. So as you know, the MRCOG Part 2 has got SBA single best answers and extended matching questions. So it'll be a question followed by 5 options, for example, for the SBAs. So in my paper I had 50 SBAs first and 50 AMQs for the other half. There is no distinction between SBA SBAs and EMQs as such within the paper. It's on when you're answering it, it's all one whole exam paper as 100 questions. You then have a little break, followed by it's supposed to be an hour break where we were actually told to leave the examination center because of COVID. There were limited number of people allowed within the examination center, so we actually left the examination center for a lunch break, and then on return you present your ID and all that again, and then you're told to enter the examination room, and your paper 2 is loaded up by by the invigilators, and they get the ball rolling. The software, as I said, is very user friendly. I didn't have any difficulty to being able to answer the questions or record the questions. You can easily go back on it and review your questions. You could mark any questions if you thought you wanted to come back on it and review the answers later. So you could do a little markup. So at the end, when you're trying to review those questions in specific, you've got a little mark next to them that you can to go to these questions and get them answered. At the end of it all, when you've answered everything and you're happy and you've checked all the questions, there's a way to submit your paper. Don't think it says submit, but it says something else, but you there is a way, and then once you've done that, there's no way of getting back to it. So it's very important that you check your answers before you've finally clicked on that button to say you're all good and you're all happy with the answers. In terms of the time allowed, there is plenty of time to do the questions and then get them reviewed. Not only myself, my friends felt the same, that there was enough time. But that kind of varies individually. I've actually done the exam on the paper at the college, and then also the online exam. And if I compare the two, I much preferred the online exam, maybe because we as a generation are used to doing exams online and using computers and so forth. So yeah, as I said, it was very user friendly. It's a very long day though, so you do need a bit of stamina, and you do need to hold onto your focus, onto your concentration, and just be sat upright for a very long time, which can be quite physically demanding as well. But yeah, overall, quite a good experience. Nothing that you will not be able to work out, nothing that you will have hopefully too much trouble with in terms of navigating the system. But I thought I will share my ways with you, because it's a very newly designed system, and it's all come in the last year or so with the COVID pandemic, and there isn't a lot of places where you can go and find out this information. So if you did have any questions, and please leave them in the comments below, and I'll be very happy to answer them for you, because I remember when I was about to sit the exam, I looked around for places to get some simple information, like, do you get a break, or how do you take a toilet break, and so forth, and are you allowed a water bottle into the examination hall, and so forth. But couldn't even find simple stuff like that. So hence why I thought I'll do this video. But yes, please hit the subscribe button, and as I said, if you've got any questions, do leave them in the comments below, and I will try and answer them as soon as possible. Thank you for listening. Oh, hey, I just wanted to say that obviously this was my experience and the rules at our local Pearson VUE centre. Obviously, do check the rules at your centre. They might vary slightly. You do get an email from the Pearson VUE guys before the exam listing some of these rules out. So yes, so do make sure that you've got the right form of ID and so forth, depending on what your local centre wants. Thanks.